So I'm here with Ben from EA, who's going to talk us through the new Crysis Warhead.
Well, Crysis was a very well received open world sandbox game, and we didn't want to fix anything that wasn't broken. So basically Crysis Warhead takes place at the same time as Crysis. It's on the other side of the island. You're playing the part of Sykes, who's one of your squad from the original game, and it's a parallel story which takes place, as I say, on the other side of the island, but it sort of fills in the gaps in the story that you wouldn't have known from Crysis. So it's a bit of extra.
And you mentioned before that the character is very different from, you know, the main protagonist in Crysis. What's Sykes actually like?
Well, Sykes is, for a start, he's British, and he's your kind of like sort of SAS tough guy, kind of very bombastic, very in-your-face kind of guy, and he's much more vocal. So we brought that across in the game design as well. It was a good kind of like building block for actually how we were building the game. If we're building it off this guy's character, you know, it's much more explosive, much more kind of shoot first, ask questions later. That's just how Psycho is, and it also makes it more interesting for character development and, you know, him actually interacting with other people in the game. So overall, it's just a lot more interactive.
And what does he actually have to do in the game? What's his mission?
Well, in Crysis, he leaves you at a point in Crysis where it's a harbour level, and he goes away and comes back at the end of the game with this big alien scout, and you never explain why or where he got it from. And this tells that story. So he's actually, the whole point of Crysis Warhead is it's a chase. You're trying to find this Korean general who's stolen the scout, and they're going to sort of retro, sort of, you know, sort of analyse it and sort of take the technology away. So your mission is to actually find it and prevent him from doing that. So it's a big chase, basically.
And obviously we're here at the launch of the Blackbird 002, and you mentioned obviously that's a very high-spec gaming machine. How does this game work with those sorts of machines?
Well, I mean, Crytek as a company built their, you know, they found their success with being a cutting-edge developer, you know, pushing the boundaries. I mean, all, you know, Crysis was starting, you know, when it first started out, it was volumetric clouds, kind of ambient, sort of dynamic ambient lighting. We've even got some new features in here, like sort of the global ambient lighting's changed. So there's a lot of things that this game actually pushes. So obviously things like the Blackbird is ideal for running games like Crysis. Obviously with Warhead we've tried to expand our sort of install base in terms of what PCs will run the game. That was a big part of it for us, because Crysis was criticised for not, you know, being able to be run on anything but the most high-end PCs. So that's something we tried to rectify with Warhead, but obviously running it on a rig like this is ideal, because you get all the bells and whistles.
But if you haven't got the money to buy a Blackbird, a new Blackbird, then it'll still work.
It'll still work on a
PC.
Yeah, you know, a normal PC.
And is the game available now?
It is available now. Yeah, it was released on the 16th, so out in shops.
Fantastic. Thanks ever so much for your time, Ben.
You're welcome.
Thank you.